5 minutes after the hour of 6 a.m., it is Wednesday, March 6, 2019, 3 degrees outside. We're finally above zero, Shane. I'm excited about that. How about you?
Spring is, you can see spring on the road now.
I know. Well, did I say anything yesterday about snow? We've got snow outside. I walk out this morning, it's snowing like
Well, you weren't supposed to have snow today. You said yesterday 0% of snow today.
It's snowing like it's winter. What's up with that? Come on.
We spring forward this weekend, right?
Yeah, we do. You got to change your clocks. You and I will lose an hour of sleep, Shane.
Just what I need to do to get up.
I know.
At 3:30 in the morning.
I was going to say, yeah. Well, that's 4:30 our time, so yeah.
We should be having a TV show.
We should. Yeah.
With makeup, the whole thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We both need a lot of makeup.
Yeah, I mean, a lot.
I don't know. I'm going to have to get over to Macy's and have them see what they can do with me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sit in that chair with the beautiful young lady, and she'll go, "Why do you want makeup?"
Yeah.
And, I do a radio show.
Yeah, right. I got to get dressed up for radio.
I'm going to ask you again, why do you want makeup?
Jeez. Well, weather day, in spite of the snow we're not supposed to have, is there. No accumulation, fat chance of that. It is accumulating out there. We got at least an inch, if not more. 19 degrees will be the high today, 8 the overnight low. We're done with below zero temperatures overnight, so that's a good thing. Tomorrow, though, we should get some melting. 36 degrees is the predicted high and 17 the overnight low. But snow moves back in again late Thursday night and most of the day on Friday. You'll be going to work in snow and probably coming home in snow on Friday. 3 to 5 inches are predicted. And then Saturday, less than an inch as the snow tapers off in late afternoon. So we're going to get a little dusting over the Friday and Saturday beginning of the weekend. Sunday, back up to 27, 5 the overnight low. It'll be sunny, and 30 on Monday, and 9 the overnight low. Sunny both days, and then on Tuesday, 31 degrees, and 13 the overnight low, and mostly sunny. And then we get a little more snow moving in next Wednesday. So that's your forecast. Temperatures around the area right now, 7 degrees in Livingston, and there you have snow. Manhattan has snow, 1 degree there. Three Forks has snow, 1 degree. And Galton Gateway, they have snow also. They're at 3 degrees. And Ennis is 5, and, of course, they have snow, too. Gardner also has snow. They're 21 degrees down there, or up there, depending on how you look at it. How high they are, whatever. And at the airport in Belgrade, it's 1 degree over there. And at our lavishly appointed studios here in downtown Bozeman, where we are privileged to talk to you each day, 3 degrees is our current temperature here.
Well, so, I have to admit, this time in the morning, I look at it cross-eyed, so I have to wear glasses.
Yeah, you don't know anything.
No.
You're not good till about 8:30.
Yeah, and then the show's over.
I know.
Thanks, Tom. That's really kind of you.
I know. I'm trying to keep you happy, man. I'm trying to keep you happy.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 65th day of the year. 300 days left till the end of the year, Shane. So there you go.
Very important piece of information. I don't want to know.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe we'll be here in 300 days. I don't know. We'll see.
Wow, that's a countdown if I've ever heard
That's
one.
A countdown, isn't it? Well, on this date, 1934, the city of York in Upper Canada was incorporated as Toronto, your capital of Toronto's capital of Canada, isn't it?
No, Ontario.
Ontario's the capital.
Ottawa is the capital of Canada.
Okay, well, there's too many stupid names you guys have up there.
Omaha is your capital of the United States.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's Omaha. Yeah. That's you got that right.
Where Warren Buffett is. Right?
Yeah, Warren Buffett. They call it the capital because he's the capitalist. So,
that's why.
That's why Omaha's the capital. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but isn't it in the center of your country where it should be?
Well, it should be in the center of the country.
Yeah. Okay.
But Well, they might relate more to the middle of the country if they were in it.
If they were in that. Oops.
Yeah. On this date in 1836, the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas, fell to Mexican forces after a 13-day siege. And, John Wayne and Richard Widmark were killed there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a whole crew of other people from Hollywood.
That's right. Yeah, it's really sad, yeah. Well, in 1853, on this date, Verdi's opera La Traviata premiered in Venice, Italy. Quite an extravaganza there. Still popular today.
Yeah, and the Impressionist painters, like Monet and so forth, were, they were all in Paris along the Seine, smoking cigarettes and drinking espresso.
Yeah.
And then they'd all go create music and art.
Right. That was
What a crazy group of guys.
Yeah. Well, these guys were in Italy, but I realized the French guys were pretty. French
guys were busy too.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, espresso and croissants. That's what they were.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. Yeah. 1857, U.S. Supreme Court in the Dred Scott versus Sanford ruled 7-2 that Scott, a slave, was not an American citizen and therefore could not sue for his freedom in federal court.
Yeah, it was an amazing decision. I mean, not just because of the way the court voted, but they voted unanimously, right?
Well, 7-2, pretty much unanimously, yeah.
As far as anyone else is concerned, I'm just saying,
that's
the South, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
His wife were from Illinois, and they didn't think that because because slavery was illegal, that they could be considered slaves.
Yeah.
And the court said, no, you're still a slave even though you're in a free state. Yeah. And wow, that upset a lot of people.
Well, they were an illegal immigrant of sorts.
Well, yes, that's true.
I guess.
Of sorts, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but a lot of people believe this is what led up to the Civil War, And
the Republican Party. This solidified the Republican Party. Part of it, at least, was anti-slavery. Mm-hmm. And in 1933, on this bank, a national bank holiday declared by President Franklin D. Roosevelt aimed at calming panicked depositors went into effect. Chicago Mayor Anton Cermak, wounded in an attempt on Roosevelt's life the previous month, died at a Miami hospital at age 59. Yeah.
And then there wasn't long after that he outlawed the holding of gold. You couldn't hoard or own gold.
Yep, you had to turn in your gold.
You had to turn in your gold.
Yep. Yeah. That was, I don't know. Do you think people really do that? Did people really turn in their gold? You really think they did?
No, they did.
I was going to say, did they bury it in the backyard? And I'm keeping this stuff, man. If they want it that bad, anytime the government wants something from you, you better bury it somewhere.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
All right. In 1944, on this date, the U.S. heavy bomber staged the first full-scale American raid on Berlin during World War II, and that was the days when you could carpet bomb cities.
Well, and that was in response to the V2 mark.
The V2 rocket, yeah.
Nazi Germany was firing over into Britain, and the British decided that they'd taken enough of this effort by the Germans to destroy the morale of England, so they figured, well, the only thing left to bomb was the cities with industry, so we have to do that. So that's
so they went after Berlin, yeah. All right, in 1953, George Malenkov was named premier of the Soviet Union the day after the death of Joseph Stalin.
Right, soon to be replaced by Khrushchev.
Yep. Yeah, they had
Malenov bit the biscuit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't gargle this morning.
And the Malenkov cocktail was not named after him.
Malenov, yeah. Probably is.
1957, the British Gold Coast and British Togoland became the independent state of Ghana.
Yeah, it was the first independent state of Africa and black. It was the first African black, free state. It was, there was always they always took pride throughout the last 150 years about that.
Semi-famous for James, what is it, Jonestown?
Yeah, wasn't that
Massacre?
there in Guyana?
Yeah, it was in Ghana. Yeah. One person fell asleep. We talked about that one day on the morning here. One person fell asleep and woke up to 900 dead people.
Yeah.
So the Lord works in mysterious ways, huh?
And not to use the saying, but didn't drink the Kool-Aid.
Didn't drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, fell asleep and woke up the next morning and everybody's gone. So I don't know. That just shows you. I guess that makes the point. If you think the Russians can't interfere in our election.
That's right. Well, and that's where the media's expression, stop drinking the Kool-Aid.
Right. Yeah.
From, right?
I was going to say, yeah. So that's where the saying came from, anyway. That
it is
lace the
yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Those of you that don't know TV.
Yeah. Oh man, 1970, a bomb being built inside a Greenwich Village townhouse by the radical weathermen accidentally went off, destroying the building and killing 3 group members.
Yeah, the incredible thing about this is twofold. A terrorist act, obviously.
Yeah.
But it happened, and they didn't even know about him.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that these guys were out there, but they didn't They didn't. Another time where the intelligence agencies didn't get ahead of the ball.
Yeah. Well, I guess they found out where these guys were when that bomb went off.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
1987, 193 people died when the British ferry Herald of Free Enterprise capsized on the Belgian port of Zeebrugge.
Yeah, that was a funny thing because it literally happened in port.
Yeah. Yeah,
it wasn't out in the channel or channel or whatever you want to call that.
Just kind of tipped over, I guess.
Yeah, it rolled.
193 people got on the wrong side, I guess, at the same time.
Oh,
maybe they were all saying goodbye or something.
Oh,
boom, over it goes.
Or there are a lot of big people on that side.
I was going to say, yeah, there's a lot. Well, I mean, it was a free enterprise, boat.
Yeah, that's right.
In 1997, a gunman stole a $1 million Picasso portrait from a London gallery. So,
wow.
We got to take a quick break, but Elizabeth Barrett Browning was born today, and you are going to talk a little bit about her because of, her and my connection. We both have a connection to her. So,
exactly. It's personal.
Yeah. Okay. Get your memory going. You may have to recite some poetry. All right. We'll be right back with Poet's Corner right after this. 24 minutes past the hour of 6 a.m. It is Wednesday, March 6, 2019. 4 degrees outside. Shane Montalban on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. Half man, half amazing. And Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor, in the house. And this is the KMMS Morning Soapbox. And, Shane, we got... Once again, we talked about this yesterday, the hiking taxes. Bozeman is going to put parks and trails before the voters in November.
They should.
As they should, yeah, it's a tax. If you missed the interview yesterday with Jeff Krause talking about this, it's on our website at kmmsam.com. Just go over there and scroll down, and you'll see the interview with Jeff and about this $200, it's going to be about $200 over the course of a few years, but it'll be about $200 a year. But it's going to start around 135, and then it'll get up to near 200 by the 5th year. But
I enjoy Jeff Krause, and I think it's great that he comes in, and we learned so much, and it's great to be kept up to date. But I have to tell you, when I commented yesterday about hidden taxes, this is a hidden tax. Right?
Well, it is. Yeah, it's going to be stuffed into your property tax bill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I said, we always talk about this. Governments never take taxes down; they just keep piling them on.
Yeah.
And I just, I expressed my opinion that I thought that people, older people shouldn't be charged, property tax for education.
Yeah.
I think that your name should come off, off the roll for that tax because it's not. You've already contributed to it. And when you look at the greatest generation in our generation, look at what we built, for everybody after us.
Yeah.
And it's not to say we shouldn't help maintain it or help improving it, but I just think that hidden tax. So his defense of being able to tax people, I wasn't very comfortable with.
Yeah. Well, how do you decide that? We in Prop 13, for example, that applied to all homeowners, and we talked a little bit about that being a possibility. For the people that don't know what Proposition 13 is, it's a California property tax initiative that whatever property tax you're paying or whatever the value of your home is when you move into it stays the same. Exactly. So your property taxes are flat for the time you live in that home, and encourage people to create neighborhoods where everybody knows each other and they maintain their homes. Realtors don't like it very much because it slows down home turnover, as people move from place to place, because you think, well, gee, if I move to a new place, then my property taxes are going to increase because the property that I'm moving up to, or even if you're downsizing, the property tax is going to be more. So, there's that's another flip side benefit of our Canadian rule, where your principal home, you sell it, there's no taxation on it. Yeah, right. So and that's a great thing. So you pay more taxes, but you want it to go up in value because you do want to flip it. Yeah. You're in there for 4 or 5 years and it doubles in price. Yeah. You sell it and you can move up to a bigger home, right? Yeah. And there's no tax consequence to you. So that's right. Yeah. So that's that's a good thing. Yeah. I've often thought, well, Obama said put forth something that everybody making $50,000 or less shouldn't have to pay tax on their Social Security or taxes at all. Well, and the other thing is you elect these people make these kind of decisions. Yeah. It's sort of hard to make these kind of decisions. Well, that's why you elect them. Yeah, that's true. And if they're wrong about their decision, they don't get reelected, right? Now, Krause was the sole vote against this plan to raise the taxes. He thinks you should do it with the existing budget. And wow, what kind of wacko thinking is that? I mean, come on. Yeah, exactly. Do it with the existing budget. Are you kidding me? I mean, come on. We're tapped out. Yeah, well, in the city, and it's not just a pizza, it's more than that. It really is. I mean, well, pretty soon you got pizzas stacked to the ceiling. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you look like a pizza parlor with all the box stacked everywhere waiting to use. Yeah, $200 divided by 12 is about $16 a month. So this is a great deal, Shane. Give up pizza, and you get pristine parks, and you lose weight at the same time. What a deal! Right. Like people use them. Like seriously, come on. Right. You may have a favorite park, but you don't walk through all of them. That's true. All right, we'll be back shortly. Hang on. Well, I better keep talking here while the music's still playing. All right, we'll be back after the news. I got Montana State News, Fox News, Brooke Foster weather, and a lot more to come. 24 minutes before the top of the hour. It's Wednesday, March 6, 2019. 4 degrees outside. Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor in the house. Welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. And Shane and Tobin on the line in Vancouver, British Columbia. Half man, half amazing. And, the timber sale keeps going. Shane, the limestone, the limestone 443-acre Limestone West Timber sale. And apparently the top bidder that will keep that place from being logged for 25 years. Wow. Bid $376,000 for it. And so they are going to get an easement against any logging on that 443 acres for at least 25 years. And they topped RY Timber, the only other bidder in the sale. And they said the company offered the minimum bid, which totals about $376,000, as I mentioned earlier. So the results are not yet official. They've still verifying that the group's bid was correct and complete and all that stuff. We got to dot the I's and cross the T's and all that stuff. So, but it looks like that renewable resource will not be utilize for the citizens of Montana or this immediate area. I'm all for saving our our wilderness, but you plant a tree and it grows, and you cut one down and you plant another one and it grows. It's not if it was a mine or, oil or something, I might be a little more,
reticent.
Reticent to jump on the bandwagon for this thing. But I'll tell you, anytime you have a renewable resource, why not take advantage of it?
Well, yeah, we do it with food. We do it with food every year.
I was going to say, yeah. What you tell the farmers? Oh, your wheat's interfering with my view of the mountains if I lay down.
That's right. I mean, they replaced the plains that were covered in grass with with grain.
Yeah, well, grass and trees.
Where are the environmentalists not complaining about that? Oh, you stop growing grain.
Yeah,
get back to natural grass in the plains.
That's
really?
Right. Yeah. We'll bag that up and have it down at Heaps for you.
Exactly. Yeah, you can have grass bread. You'll love it, dear.
That's right. You'll love it, man. It's great. You could chop it up. It's great with mayonnaise.
That's right. People in cities during World War II ate it all the time.
That's right, man. That's all they did. So I don't know. I don't know. For being the treasure state, we certainly don't seem to have a whole lot of treasure that we can utilize anymore. We can't log, we can't drill, we can't mine, we can't log. So I don't know. It's
well, and I think Alaska is the only state in your country that has a Homestead Act. Did you have a Homestead Act in your state?
Boy, Clinton would have to get on the line with that one. I think I want to say yes, but sadly, my knowledge of Homestead Acts is not up to par.
That's right. And no, I'm just saying, we all remember the great Homestead.
Yeah, there were.
Rushes
Sure.
Of the 19th century. I mean, the 18th century. That changed everything. Boy, what a way to move people out of the inner cities.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking to see if we've got anything like that. Let's see. Apparently we do. We got a form for it.
Well, there you go.
The Montana Homestead Act of 1862 entitled anyone who filed to a quarter section of land, 160 acres, providing that person proved up the land. So proving up meant living on the land for 5 years. Otherwise, after living on the land for 6 months, homeowners could choose to buy it outright for $1.25 an acre.
So there you go. See all you people in Bozeman? Somebody could have filed a homestead claim on that acreage. Yeah, there you go.
There you are. So, boom. Well, I'm not sure if it's federal land or not. I don't know.
I'm trying to have fun here, Tom.
I understand that. No, I understand that. Yeah. And fun it is.
It is.
Fun we're having.
Yeah. At least to elicit a phone call about it.
That's true. Yeah. Well, also, I should mention our poll of the day, then we got to take a quick break here. Which invention would you rather see happen? And you can go to KMMSAM.com and vote, or go over to AM 1450 KMMS on your smartphone and vote. Which invention would you rather see happen? An in-bed toilet, so you don't have to get up at night. An automatic clothes machine that hangs up your clothes automatically. An automatic bed maker that makes your bed all by itself, or a super radio that gets KMMS wherever I am in the world.
Of course, we know the answer.
We know the answer to that one. So while you ponder those decisions and go over and vote, we'll be right back. 15 minutes before the top of the hour, Wednesday, March 6, 2019, 4 degrees outside. Good morning and welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox. Tom and Shane, and Shane and Tom on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. Half man, half amazing, and Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor in the house. And, well, Shane, the Bridger Canyon residents going at it with the county over zoning out there. So it never ends with the city or the county. They're all in cahoots with each other.
They are.
So, the commission voted Tuesday to repeal a section of Bridger Canyon zoning regulations. So with the repeal, what that means is a person who owns two adjacent lots that are each smaller than 36 acres and existed before 1971. I think didn't all land exist before 1971, but anyway.
Hold on. Bingo.
Yeah. So anyway, if you got two adjacent lots that are smaller than 36 acres, and they existed before 1971, can now develop both lots. Previously, only one could be developed, so local residents are concerned scenic views will be reduced, traffic will increase, wildlife will be endangered, and water and sewer systems will be stressed by the additional building now permitted. So,
yeah, but you have a commercial building height there, right? Restriction, don't you?
Well, but homes and things like that, if you're sitting out in your backyard and you can see the bridgers, and then all of a sudden there's a couple of houses in front of you, I guess, your view is somewhat diminished unless you look through their bedroom window into the living room window, and then you can see the mountains again.
I think you should take up painting.
Well, I should take up something, but anyway. So anyway, it's not clear how many lots have been open to development with the repeal of the zoning regulation that they estimate the repeal allows for building on about 24 lots, while the Bridger Canyon Property Owners Association estimates up to 134 lots could potentially be developed out there. So regardless,
with all their efforts and studies and committees and stuff, don't you think they'd have a number? Like,
well, you'd think so.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Well,
get it together here.
Yeah, they're throwing darts at the wall.
Exactly. Yeah, they're playing darts while they do this.
That's right. Yeah. Regardless of the exact effects of the repeal, any addition to population up there does in fact change things. And it changes what we look forward to when we bought up here 30 years ago. So the existing people can buy, but no one else can. So that's where
you need a legal pad, to check everything off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, you should have bought the 36 acre lots around you. And you can choose to develop or not develop them. So
yeah, good choices, good consequences.
Yeah, what's the difference there? So yeah, you can do all of that. So, well, once again, we've got government coming in and, I don't know. I guess in some ways this frees up land. So maybe we shouldn't be too down on the county for doing this. But I agree with I think all of us that have lived here for a long time and remember Bozeman being this little hamlet that ended at 15th, or whatever, or 19th, or whatever,
exactly.
North 19th wasn't there, and, Durston stopped at the gas station and whatever. But, and the downtown was smaller, and, it hurts us a little bit to see, the innocence of Bozeman kind of disrupted.
Yeah, it's not like Billings, where you have the east side of Billings on top of the Rimrock, so it's sort of hidden.
Yeah, it's up there out of the way where you don't notice it so much.
No one sees it, right?
Yeah, you still got the little downtown with the big buildings, but
exactly.
But still, it doesn't look like a city of 100,000.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well. Growth is inevitable. There's nothing we can do about it. People want to live here, and if they can afford to live here, they're coming.
Montana's like BC. 20 minutes in any direction, you're in the wilderness.
Well, that's true. You really are. Yeah, Yeah. In fact, I don't even think it takes 20 minutes. You could probably drive 5 minutes and see what Lewis and Clark saw.
Yeah, exactly.
Less maybe telephone poles and fences, but pretty much that's what they saw. So
that's right. And all you have to do is check the creek for beer cans, and you may be crossing somewhere no one has before.
That's true. Yeah. Take your little gold pan out there and do some panning. Right. Yeah. Well, as I say, we're going to have more traffic. We're going to have more issues and whatever. But and I feel for these people who live out there. They've invested the money in their property, and one of the reasons they probably invested is because they got a nice view, and they don't want to look into some guy's backyard watching his dog poop in the poop in the yard,
Exactly.
and not see the mountains. So
No.
I don't know. I have I feel for both sides on this one. I think you have a right to, if you could build, and if you want to buy the property and invest in it, then you shouldn't be prohibited from doing it. So.
No, you shouldn't. Not, and especially if you own the land, right?
That's true.
Really.
Yeah, if it's your land, you can do whatever you want with it. So.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back with more right after this. 5 minutes before the top of the hour, it is Wednesday, March 6, 2019, 4 degrees outside. Shane Tobin on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. Half man, half amazing. Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor in the house. Welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox. We got some texts we got to get to, Shane.
All right.
Our text line, 478-8298, 478-8298. I've been here more than 30 years, and all those homes at Bridger Canyon weren't there, so the out-of-staters move here and build their houses, but no one else can. Goodbye to the old Bozeman. And let's see. Oh, wow. Now a certain landowner can build his women's commune retreat, individual glass structures for women to get closer to nature up Bridger Canyon. And let's see. I don't think you have a view shed right.
Yeah, that's very good. I like that one.
Yeah, I don't think that would. Hey, Shane, don't give these fools any more ideas. So, hush up there. All right. That helps our text line out there.
There you go.
In other news, Northwestern, they want to expand power generation. They released a plan Tuesday to more than double how much power it can generate for Montana customers during peak demand. But critics worry the company will rely on what? Too much fossil fuel, Shane. Oh, my God. Right. We're going to take care of our customers, but at what expense? Oh, my God.
Yeah, well, there you go.
All right.
Well, in 11 years, we'll be off the air, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's true. Yeah, 12 years, the world's going to end, so why worry about it?
Yeah.
Pump that juice out, boys.
That's right. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, they're not relying enough on renewable sources to complete the expansion. Montana's largest electric supplier aims to add 800 megawatts of power generation capacity between 2022 and 2025, according to the draft plan that went out for public review on Tuesday. Company now has 755 megawatts of peaking capacity, energy available during the periods of highest demand, and it purchases an additional 645 megawatts on the market to meet the total peak demand.
There you go.
So,
well, and the other thing too is that, we talk about this, and I think the biggest concern your country has is the grid. It's integrated, and it shouldn't be. It should be broken up, and this would be a great opportunity for people to go to their House and Senate and say, we want to be independent of the national grid. We want to have our own power. We don't want to be exposed to an EMP, right?
Mm-hmm. Or electronic pulse.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Electronic magnetic pulse.
Or magnetic, EMP, sorry.
Yeah.
Not EMT.
Something
EMP.
like that, yeah. ATM.
Wow. I get my anagrams right.
ASPCA.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, Shane, you if you're looking for a profit center in Montana to invest in, we've got one for you here in Bozeman. It's the IV Hydration Center that opened in Bozeman. When a Bloody Mary doesn't do the trick, a new Bozeman business says it has all your post-hangover needs covered. Right. They opened in January, and it's called the IV4 Wellness, one of the Canada District's newest businesses. And the Hydration Center does more than cure hangovers. It offers treatments to increase energy levels and elevate moods and provide faster recovery during athletic training and other athletic events, speed up illnesses, or speed up to take care of illness recovery, I should say, and improve hair, skin, and nails. So there you are. So,
Gee whiz.
what a wonderful,
surprise.
What a great idea. So you need those in Canada.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah.
I mean, the two best things for a hangover is lots of water to wash the sugar out.
Well, that's right. Yeah.
Or a good dose of oxygen. Boy, that'll do it.
And, of course, as we know, you're no stranger to IVs, so.
No, not me. We can't talk about that.
No, we can't.
Like talking about high school. We can't talk about high school.
No, we can't go back there. Not ever.
Never.
All right. All right, we got to duck out here, pay some bills and things. We still got 5 things you need to know coming up. And also Mike McCormick will be in at 8 o'clock, so we'll be chatting with him about money and your wallet, and we'll be right back. And it is Wednesday, March 6, 2019, 4 degrees outside, 5 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. Shaman Talbot is on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia, and half man, half amazing. And, of course, Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor. And we're here every weekday morning. Thanks for joining us. And what do you mean a slight dusting of snow, half inch? There was an inch on the ground when I came in this morning. I don't know what Brooke's on.
I love that story yesterday about the slight dusting of pollen on the mayor's car down somewhere south in the country.
I know. I don't know.
And then she woke up and said, "This is a hate crime. Look what someone did to my," and it was pollen.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Who could have trashed my car like this?
Yeah. Right. Wow.
I don't know. Some people just don't know. Hey, get over to KMMSAM.com or AM 1450 KMMS on your smartphone and vote in our poll today. Which invention would you rather see happen? And your choices are a automatic bed maker that makes your bed all by itself, an automatic clothes machine that hangs up your clothes automatically, an in-bed toilet so you don't have to get up at night, or a super radio that gets KMMS wherever I am in the world. And guess what's in the lead right now, Shane?
KMMS, baby.
It is 53% of responding voters think that a super radio that gets KMMS wherever I am in the world is the best. Other is number 2. And then
there you go.
And then the toilet and the clothes machine are tied at 7%. And nobody seems to think an automatic bed maker would be worth the time. So I guess you either don't make your bed or whatever,
or whatever,
or it's not worth buying a machine to do it for you. So,
exactly.
So I don't know. Anyway, have some fun over there with our KMMS polls. We have them every day, and we'll be happy to keep you up to speed on what's happening with those over there. Some other things that are in the over in our KMMSAM.com site. Bozeman Youth Baseball umpire training is going to be held tonight at 6 o'clock at the Bozeman High School in room N 149, if you know where that is or whatever. So anyway, if you think you'd like to be a youth baseball umpire, you only have to be 13 years or older, since they do kids, in a grade school and whatever. So, if you're over 13, you can certainly be a umpire in one of the smaller leagues. And but yeah, they'll teach you everything you need to know. And there's a link on our website to get the application. You can fill it out and send it in directly online. And so if you ever thought you wanted to be a umpire, if you think you know more than they do or whatever, and
exactly.
They'll brief you on the rules, and I think they'll probably have somebody there if there's a controversy about rules or whatever. They'll probably have someone there to help out. So we realize that you're not going to learn it all in one night, but they do pay $30 a game, and they'll pay you for the training. So there you are. Cool. Yeah. The other thing that's going on our website at KMMSAM.com, Tim Fox, our AG, Attorney General, urges Congress to take action against robocalls. And I think we all know about robocalls. We hate them. We don't like them. We get them all the time. And they've gone to spoofing numbers. We got one the other day that was Macy's. Showed up Macy's on the phone. And it's somebody, with the braces or the... you were talking about it when we were talking off the break, that you get some where the Canada, IRS.
Revenue Canada. People claim they're calling from Revenue Canada and threatening you with arrest, and the sheriffs are coming to get you. And you know, when you're an older person, but then when you start, you take them and you start asking them questions. What are you talking about? What do I owe? And well, we need some information. And then you go, well, wait, you're the government. You got my phone number. You got to have the rest of the information.
I was going to say, don't you know how much I owe? What's going on?
Exactly. File 13, hang up, and delete the number.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's it's been about 6 months, maybe 8 months or so that they've started using local prefixes, local numbers.
Yeah.
Call forwarding, I guess, or whatever, something like that. So we're hoping that maybe Tim Fox can do something about that. I use a service that's free. It's called Nomo Robo, Nomo Robo, ROBO.
Cool.
And you simply put your numbers in there. And what happens is when a number is identified as not a residential number or a person or a business. Now, it does let hospitals through, things like that. It doesn't stop all calls, but it stops the illegitimate ones. And
the real calls come through, right?
Yeah. And what happens is when they call my number, they are advised that they have to enter a code in order to talk to me. So,
right.
And most of them are automatic dial, so they're just going to go to the next number.
Well, it's like 30 years ago, right? We had paper shredders. Now you have a delete button.
Yeah.
And 30 years ago, you knew every phone number you had to. Now you can't. You don't know a phone number now because it's all on your phone.
I know. If I ever lost my phone, I'd be, I don't know.
We'd never talk.
I know. I'd never be able to find you again. That's for sure. So
that's right.
So, you being in the witness protection program, obviously, they're not going to give your number out. So,
the witness tax protection.
Yeah, it's not his real name, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Leopold Sternmine.
Yeah, it's an anagram.
That's
no,
right.
You can't use that for things.
No, you can't do that. Yeah. So, but anyway, if you want to be a baseball umpire, it's going to be at the high school tonight at 6:00. So hop over there and check it out, and they'll tell you everything you need to know to be an umpire, and we'll get you started on the training. And the training's paid too, so why not? If you need a part-time job, $30 a game. I don't know how many games you would do, but that's I guess it's up to them and up to you.
Probably not politically correct, but women's softball is huge in your country. So
it is, yeah. Women are not permitted or not prohibited from doing this. So
right,
ladies, ladies, if you're a sports fan,
what a great way to meet women is be a men's, guys go out and be a ref, or take the course and go to women's softball games and meet a lot of women.
I'm sure they're going to date the umpire. Yeah, that's what they're going to do.
It's just a way to socialize and meet women. That's a cool thing.
Well, maybe if you look like Brad Pitt, maybe, but I don't know.
You really had to rock that one.
I don't know. Some of the umpires I've seen on baseball look a little more like me than they do, Brad Pitt. But I don't know. Well, anyway. But we hope the robocalls will
disappear.
Whatever. Also, we had a 46 below reading at Elk Park. Could be a statewide record. They have to verify it, Shane. But here in Elk Park, be a statewide record for the month. Lowest temperature recorded during the month of March. But March isn't over yet, so who knows? Just because we got through this one cold snap doesn't mean that doesn't mean Jack Slop.
Right, that line's still marching. Yeah,
right. Well, we'll see how that plays out, and also the state insurance commissioner says that to look into flood insurance because we we talked yesterday a little bit about the ice flows getting under the bridges and causing flooding, and also someone called off the air. We were talking about Bozeman Creek, but because volunteers at one time used to clear all the debris out of Bozeman Creek, but they haven't been doing it. And with our snowpack, even though it's not as much as it was last year, we got a bunch of it all at once. And so with the cold and everything, once it starts melting, it may be, maybe quite a deal. So let's see what the callers have to say. 522-TALK is the number, 522-8255. Caller, you are on the air. What's going on?
Yeah, you're talking about green energy or something earlier?
Yeah.
Always.
Well, I think they're trying to save on diesel fuel or something. They sure ain't been plowing the state roads around here, have they? I mean, drive 7th Avenue, that's state plowed road. Drive Main Street.
Yeah,
downtown.
Main Street's a washboard.
Pardon?
Main Street's a washboard.
I know, and but they haven't even run plows down them hardly. I mean, it's like the government said, "Hey, you know what? I'm not getting my way, so I'm not getting the plows to you."
Yeah.
Or they're trying to save on diesel fuel. Who knows?
Yeah.
But anyways, I just thought I'd put that in.
Driving in, there's a lot of along there, particularly in front of McDonald's and going up to 19th, either direction there, on Main. It's, if you got false teeth, you need to take them out because
rattle, rattle.
I'm going to say they'll be bouncing, in the back of your van.
Yes. Oh, by the way, you're saying something about a glass house up in Bridgers is going to get built or something?
No, that was a texter who called in and said now that they can open up development up there on adjacent lots that people will start building glass houses up there so they can be closer to the Bridgers.
Oh, okay, because I heard something about naked women walking around or something, and I was thinking...
he just said women would do it to be closer to the Bridgers, so I don't know.
I was thinking Bhagwan Rashish might be moving back in up there.
Yeah, that could be.
Like he did up in Oregon,
Yeah. Well, yeah, because now you can use a pair of binoculars like you're looking at the mountains.
Yeah.
Oh, you perverted guys.
I know. He's the worst. I don't know what to do with him. I gotta bleep him 10 times a day. From our text line regarding our poll question, the phone app is already Super Radio, so you can hear us anywhere in the world with the phone app.
Very good.
AM 1450 KMMS. So we thank the texter for that, Jim, and that is very, very true. That we are worldwide, Shane.
Yep, as long as you have access to the web, we're part of your day.
That's for sure. All right. 5 things we need to know, Shane.
Well, this is a big surprise, right? North Korea building up its old rocket site. That's a big surprise,
Hang on, I'm not watching my clock. We got to take a break, right. And then we'll do the 5 things. We got kind of waylaid there. So
it is getting waylaid.
All right. Yeah. Well, guess what? No Noxatril, but no babble. So sit back and enjoy these messages. 22 minutes after the hour of 7 a.m. It's Wednesday, March 6, 2019, 4 degrees outside. Welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. Shane and Tom and on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor, in the house. And, 5 things you need to know, Shane. We mentioned one earlier. North Korea looks like they're not listening to Donald Trump at all.
Well, no, they're listening to the Chinese. You're the one who called it.
Yeah.
These are all Chinese rockets, and they want to continue their testing. Because that's what they're using North Korea for. Yeah. But the fascinating thing about this is that at what point does he think that he's not going to get away with this?
Well, I don't know, because in the past, no president in recent memory has ever put his foot down and said, "Hey, let's." Well,
yeah. So,
we haven't. I mean, Clinton had the USS Cole. Bush did at least some retaliation against Afghanistan during 9/11, but that turned out to be kind of, I don't know, was it really worth it or not?
The big question, here's the big question. See if you and I should raise it, see if we get ahead of the curve, see if it elicits phone calls. Okay, here it is. Does he consider a first strike option? Meaning, there's no way that North Korea is going to invade the South. I mean, I know it would be disastrous and millions of people would die, but they'd gain nothing from it and get wiped out. I mean, that's what would
pretty much. At the end of the day, even with China on their side, I don't think they would.
China, So you and I can think on that.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Because you've been in the military, you know what I'm talking about.
If they were going to do it, they would have done it long ago before now.
Okay,
I mean, every day they wait, the weapons get more disastrous for them. So
exactly. Yeah. Okay, so first strike choice. Does he decide to go in and like some of these bunker busters or whatever and take something out? Like just go in there and wipe one of these areas out, and and even tell them ahead of time we're coming. Okay, we've tried to do this the nice way. So here comes the hard way. Let's talk, okay? After we're done. It's like those missiles he sent into Syria when he's sitting with the chairman for life of China and Mar-a-Lago having dessert, right?
Yeah.
What was it? 37 cruise missiles went into Syria, right?
Yeah,
Excuse me, I got to go attack Syria, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah. What's your thought? First strike? Yes, no.
Well, I don't think we'll make a first strike against anybody unless North Korea makes some kind of a strike.
Okay.
Now, the only thing you can do is sanctions against North Korea, put harder sanctions on them. But, I mean, their people are already starving to death, so I think you hurt the people more than you hurt him.
Well, I'm going to throw a hypothetical at you.
All right.
Here's a hypothetical.
All right.
They test launch one of their rockets, goes up over the China Sea, and goes over Japan and lands on the land in Japan and explodes. No bomb. I mean, just a rocket, empty rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Now a first strikes, and is that a meaningful response to something like that?
If there's loss of life, I would say yes. I'd say there'd be some kind of retaliation. So, if it fell in the middle of Tokyo, then yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if it takes out 500 people, then you got something to talk about. But
that's right.
If it falls on the beach and just sticking there.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's like the Acme, rocket in the Roadrunner and the right with the Acme rocket that sticks in the ground. Yeah, the coyote runs up to it and then it blows up.
Yeah, right. They bang on it, kick it till it does blow up. Yeah. No, I don't know. If I were in Trump's shoes, I'm not sure what I would do with North Korea. Other than, I would certainly hit them hard with sanctions. I would try to put a lot of pressure on China's Xi to rein him in.
This is true. This is true. Look, and this is what's great about your president. If this is true, we know it's the Chinese behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So now you link this to the trade agreement with China, because you and I both agree they're on their knees. They
are in definite trouble. They are in real. Yeah. They have a real problem. And now would be the time to go at them and say, hey, if you don't want tariffs out the wazoo, then reel this guy in.
Yeah, and then the fascist regime in China is having their Congress, and Xi went and made a speech 2 days ago and said, we're having real problems here. No one's consuming anything. I mean, he got up and actually said it.
Well, they're not. I mean, they're outside of us. We're about the only money that's coming in there.
That's right.
Of any size, I would say. They do business with other countries, obviously, but not at our level.
That's right.
I don't know.
So they do have issues, and I think you can link them and say to the Chinese, look, I'm happy to do a trade agreement with you. We got, we pretty well crossed the T's, dotted the I's, but sorry, boys, you got to put a cap on North Korea or no trade agreement.
Yeah. Well, I would think that would bring Xi to the table, because there's nowhere else he can go. He can't go to Russia.
No, exactly.
I mean, they don't have any money either, so he can't go there, and that's the only other major power over there. He might be able to. Germany's not going to do near what we do. Neither is France. Neither is Great Britain. Even if you put all three of them together, I don't think
and
they
you can count
wouldn't
the
do it.
socialist government of Venezuela out, even though they're one of the wealthiest countries in the world. They can't help him.
Yeah, so there you are. So yeah, I think Trump is holding a pretty good hand, worldwide at least, and I think China knows it, but they have that culture. We can't lose face. We've got to make a deal that's good for us too. So that's where the rub comes in: is how can you give something that's going to benefit the Chinese but also benefit the U.S. So that's the hard part.
Yeah, I never got that about Obama. Why would he bow to the king of Saudi Arabia and not the guy from China? That's or Japan anyway.
I don't know. He's probably still taking a knee during the national anthem.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Now Michael Cohen is back again, fourth time in 2 weeks.
All right, we gotta go, but we'll be back with Michael Cohen right after this. 24 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock, and till the top of the hour. What's wrong with me today?
Read the clock, Tom.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't read it. Well, it's 7:36. How about that?
Okay, that's very good. All right, right on the dot.
Amen to that. So Mike McCormick will be joining us at 8 o'clock, and right now we're going through the 5 things you need to know. And, of course, Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor in the house, and Shane Montalban, half man, half amazing, in Vancouver, British Columbia, and we are the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. And our poll question today, which invention would you rather see happen? And a super radio that gets KMMS wherever I am in the world is still leading at 56%. Other is 31%. And the in-bed toilet's only 6%, as is the automatic clothes machine that would hang up your clothes automatically. And nobody's interested in the thing that makes your bed all by itself. So,
well, I'm just glad the listeners like us because you compared us to a toilet.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Would you rather get up and listen to us or
sit on the toilet?
Yeah, right. Which would you rather do? I don't know. All right. Well, 5 things you need to know. Michael Cohen is back once again. He's like the guest that wouldn't leave. He's testifying for the 4th time in 2 weeks. And so I don't know what he's going to tell them that he hasn't told them before. You can only ask, did Trump collude with the Russians so many different ways?
Well, and again, it's closed-door testimony. So,
That's true,
no transparency, folks. We'll hear from the leaker.
Right, yeah. Well,
a third party will tell us.
Well, they'll also talk about did he float a possible pardon through his lawyer to Trump's attorneys, along with other topics they're going to talk about. Adam Schiff, the Democrat of California, said the committee had asked Cohen to return to discuss additional documents and shed light on a lot of issues that are very core to our investigation, which we didn't ask in the other 3 times.
Yeah, Crazy Gate 2.0, Shifty Schiff. I don't know why Trump hasn't called him that, Shifty Schiff.
Yeah.
This is a guy that's come out for 2 years and say, I have evidence, he's guilty. I mean,
that's true.
It's like the sky is falling.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of the sky is falling, we got to talk about this. Come on. I know 5 things are important, but we got to talk about this. This is one of the greatest stories that I've read about in a long time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, the headless chicken.
Yeah. I know.
Can you imagine? I saw this on TV last night. I had to go look it up, and it's true.
Yeah.
So, Mike, the headless chicken, April 20th, 1945, March 17th, 1947. The guy goes out to the barnyard because the wife wants to have chicken, grabs Mike the chicken, cuts his head off, and he doesn't die.
Yeah.
He lives for another 18 months. It was in Colorado. He even took the chicken to the University of Utah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a great story. Mike the headless chicken lived. He used to feed it with seeds and an eyedropper with milk.
Yeah.
And in the 18th month without a head, it choked on seeds.
Oh. Poor thing.
It died of choking.
Poor thing. Gee whiz. Holy smokes.
The story of the headless chicken. My goodness.
What a sad situation for poor Mike.
Well,
I mean, first of all, he missed out on all the all the views.
Yeah.
It must have had a hard time finding the other chickens or seeing the rooster come up behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know. So
anyway, had to get that.
Yeah. Mike the headless chicken. Yeah, look it up on Wikipedia. And I guess they took him to the university and said, "Here's my chicken that just won't die." So
yeah, isn't that great? I love it.
Well, it was determined the axe had missed the jugular vein and a clot had prevented Mike from bleeding to death. Although most of his head was severed, most of his brainstem and one ear were left on his body. So, it didn't cut the head completely off, apparently. So anyway,
I guess, like the guy said on TV last night, the chicken didn't know it was dead.
Well, apparently not. So let's hope we all take a lesson from that.
Well, the story. I mean, the dirtiest animal in the yard, the barnyard, is the chicken, and the cleanest is the pig, right?
Well, so to speak. I don't know. So anyway, let's see. From our text line, I bet you China's putting pressure on their bought and paid for senators like Feinstein to rein in old Trump. And a convicted perjurer being given credibility before Congress, shaking my head. So there you are from our text line. So, well, let's see. Besides Cohen, we've got other things to fry here before Mike McCormick shows up. Well, let's take a quick break here, and then we'll continue on with the 5 things, Shane. So,
okay,
hang on there, and we'll be right back. No Noxatril so far. And I don't think there's any babble in here either. So, there is a babble. Never mind. You're going to be babbled. We'll be right back. 13 minutes for the top of the hour. It is Wednesday, March 6, 2019, 5 degrees outside. Welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. Shane and Tom on the line in Vancouver, British Columbia, half man, half amazing. And your morning mayor, Tom Eaglehoff, in the house. And, 5 things we've got to know, Shane. 5 things.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, should Ivanka Trump have security clearance?
Of course she should.
Yeah.
Why not?
I don't know why
he's
not.
He's the president.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the president.
Yeah. Shouldn't you? You can't trust your kids?
Yeah, he can have anybody he wants. He can have you.
Well, I was going to say, that seems, you and I should have it.
Oh, absolutely, we should.
I mean, we would be transparent, wouldn't we?
we wouldn't disclose anything. Not. This report up from the Custom and Border Protection, I got to ask you a question because it's important. So talking points, we hear about it every day. Yeah. It's unbelievable how, your media will pick the same word. It's like they all got a text this morning, Yeah. It's inhumane, it's immoral, and they all use it all day long. But yeah. So do you think if the Republicans' talking points were not migrants but refugees, these are refugees.
Yeah.
Do you think the American public would have a different view of all this invasion of people from the southern border were referred to as refugees as opposed to migrants? Their opinion would be different?
Could be. I don't know. I don't know that we put much stock anymore in immigrant or whatever term you want to use. Immigrant obviously is the catchphrase that dates back to the 1900s when Europe came over. They were all immigrants, and that has a more pleasant connotation to it.
Exactly, it's like pro-life, pro-choice. Because in Canada, if we had 300,000 immigrants, say 30,000, 10%. If we had 30,000 illegal migrants coming to Canada, we'd go nuts. I mean, we're going nuts over 45,000 refugees. And it's cost us $1.9 billion, Oh, another talking point. Why don't the Republicans talk about the costs? I mean, it's like over $100 billion to take care of all these illegal migrants. Sorry.
Well, and also the other thing is that almost double the amount is showing up with kids in tow. Because they know if they get into the country and they got a kid with them, they're not going anywhere.
20 days, they got to be released, right?
Yeah. They're not going to kick them across the border. They're going to let them. They're going to let them go in the U.S. So that's become a big deal. That bring the kids along, and you're home free. So
before we go, we only got less than a minute. So the FDA approves ketamine like drug to treat severe depression. Oh, here we go. Another drug epidemic for your country. A nose spray that causes hallucinations. Like, really?
Yeah. Okay. Why not?
Why not? Yeah. It's a good one. 10 seconds. What do you think? Come on.
I don't know. Well, what is it? Prozac for your nose?
Yeah. Take a holiday.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Well, we skipped number 4. We'll come back and get that when we come back. All right. Okay. Hang on. We'll be right back with more right after this. 6 minutes before the top of the hour. It is Wednesday, March 6, 2019, and 5 degrees outside. We're coming up, Shane, getting warmer out there, so we're pretty excited about that. Welcome to the morning.
You're in the positive mode today.
Yeah, right. Welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox with Tom and Shane. The other thing that happened, New York State regulators, they're gonna subpoena Trump's insurance broker. Because Cohen testified that Trump inflated the value of some of his stuff, and unless he made a claim, I don't know if that's illegal or not.
I don't think it's illegal, Thomas.
One of these things. Whatever. Well, if it's property, it would be assessed.
Well, yeah,
I would think. Anyway,
but the point is he's had lawyers and accountants for years doing this, and like you say. As president, he's got to be audited. And look, the collusion delusion's over, buddy. They got to come up with a new story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's why the Senate's going after him hard and fast. Nadler and the other guy.
The House. The House.
Yeah. So they're going to go after him pretty hard and see what they can come up with. Everybody that ever knew him is submitting documents, I guess. I don't know how they're...
Well, the interesting thing is in the letter they sent out to 81 people, it says, if you've provided this information to any government official, you don't have to provide it again. Just report to us who you've sent it to and so that we can get it. Mm-hmm. So, it's one of these things. It's just a waste of time, Thomas. They have all these documents.
Well, again, I will point out, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot by not getting ready for 2020. They need positive things. And, if they think, if Access Hollywood tape didn't get Trump out of the race or, out of any contention to win this thing, right. I don't know that anything from his insurance company is going to do it.
Well, that's right. And it's like the Democrats overreach, that.
Yeah. Well, I think
wiped him out.
Yeah, I think they're convinced that the Mueller report's not going to say anything, and they've got to go after something else.
But they always overreach. It's like the Access Hollywood tape. That should have taken him out. Mm-hmm. And the reason it didn't was the following week they had 7 women come forward and said he sexually harassed them.
Yeah.
And then people went and investigated it all, and then, they weren't real. The stories weren't confirmed. They just overpress. They do. The Democrats are really bad at that.
Yeah. Well, they do. Yeah. Well, the thing with Jesse Hutton or Husson or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
They went after that big time and then had to track that back.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah. I wondered who walks around New York City with a noose?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. That seemed when I heard that, he had a noose around his neck, and they poured bleach on him. So you just have to walk around with bleach and a noose. I don't know. That's a stretch even for me. Let's take a quick call, and then we got to get out of here. Mike McCormick will be up next. Caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox. What's up?
This is Joel. Hey, you missed an opportunity there to name the Democratic mascot, the headless chicken, and I can tell you where their heads are.
Oh, okay. I think I know where you're coming from, or going to.
That's where their heads are.
I hear you.
All right.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. All right. Yeah, I think we know where they are.
Yes.
All right. Well, Mike McCormick will be in here next, and we'll be chatting about the all of the things tomorrow, or all the things that are going on. The market opened today. Shane, let's take a quick look. Down 16 points in the Dow, and NASDAQ's down 14 points. New York Stock Exchange down 12. And so everything's kind of in the red at the moment, but not drastically in the red. So we'll see what happens as we go through the day. Well, I heard this morning, Shane, if you'd put $10,000 in the stock market if you'd bought the Dow Jones Index, let's say, $10,000 in 2009 when it was 6,900.
Yep.
That $10,000 would be $400,000 today.
That's right. It's
in less than 10 years. Well, a little over 10 years, obviously. It's 2019, but yeah, if you'd have gone in there at 2009, and there you go.
There you are.
It would be good. Yeah. Why didn't you and I do that?
I couldn't. I mean, I was at the bottom of my game. I was finished. I was trying to survive. Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. At that point, we're all trying to survive, I think. All right, that wraps it up for the second hour of the Morning Soapbox, and we'll be back with Mike McCormick after the break at the top of the hour. So we got Montana State News, we got the weekday weather, and Fox News, of course, and a lot more to come. So Shane and Mike and I will try and decipher what to do with your money and how to keep it. Hang on to it. Have lots of it.
Make it better.
Make it better. All of those things. So stay tuned. We'll be back with more right after this. It's 5 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock, Wednesday, March 6th, 2019, 5 degrees outside. Welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox, and Shane Matavin on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia, half man, half amazing. Tommy Galoff, your morning mayor in the house, and eloquently ensconced atop the soapbox.
Precariously positioned.
Precariously positioned there, hanging on to the velvet railings, is the inevitable Mike McCormick, McCormick Financial Services. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, wonderful to be here. Happy Hump Day, everybody.
Yeah, Hump Day it is. Absolutely. So,
hello, Super Mike.
Hey, nice to hear your voice, Shane. Great to be here with you.
Okay, I got a question for you right off the bat. It's sort of important.
Okay.
Brexit in England, wow, look at the British pound sterling, 131, up 4 cents. And they got this mess. They've got MPs quitting the party, quitting government, and the euro's at 113. What's your call here, buddy? If Brexit, what happens if Brexit blows up? Does the pound sterling drop? Does the euro go up? What are you thinking?
They said it's inevitable. It's going to be delayed.
So I'll answer Shane's question as best I can, which is, again, foreign currencies are, I have to just say, a bit beyond me. I mean, when it's long-term investing, you're going to deal with some hiccups like this. But Brexit, if it's a hard Brexit, if it falls apart, if the UK effectively gets kicked out for their non-action, that's going to be very bad for them, right? There's no upside for England in that. And I don't
think
us. Right.
We're their only friend, or will be.
There might be some bargains if you like bangers and mash on holiday, bangers, mash, and rain.
Yeah.
But I don't see an upside for Europe on it either, other than they're just doing what they said they're going to do, which of course is what businesses do. But no, Europe's not in a strong position right now to say we're going to be better off without you. I think that the whole thing is a bit of a mess. And then when you combine that with the Chinese negotiations, which I think there's a lot of speculation that Trump has the upper hand and might try and play hardball and really stick it to him and go ahead and let some tariffs increase or make outrageous demands and make that more volatile.
Yeah.
The whole international scene right now is not looking very appealing for investors, I would say. Would you agree with that, Shane?
Well, I think it depends on where you're looking. You know, emerging markets are always interesting. You know that.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But the reason I ask you is because the currency exchange has taken over the equity markets as the biggest trading market in the world, and that's where a lot of money is. And because if people move away from the currency exchange, I don't know, do they go to the bond market, the equity market? I mean, it's a tough call in the U.S. because one of the problems you have with the equity markets, the stock market in the U.S., is that even though a lot of these companies are highly capitalized with large sums or large amounts of stock out, they're all pretty well bought up. You know what I mean? The distribution's already held.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no growth over there too. We got Deutsche Bank on the ropes.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's not a lot of bright spots over there. And yes, you're right. Emerging markets, of course, are things that I'm still fascinated by. And even though Chinese GDP is down, those companies have a really regional reach, and there's some good values there. But to Tom's point, the most likely outcome on these things is usually they find some way to sort of postpone and buy themselves some time, especially when it's a lose-lose, proposition for both Europe and the UK. Now, I've got family. My mom and stepdad stepdad's British. They're living in Cambridge right now, and so I'm in touch with them about what's going on. And I was actually there visiting them when that Brexit vote happened. And it's really a fascinating sort of public sentiment about, and it's playing out here too. It's nationalism versus inclusive. It's conservative versus liberal. It's it's a socialist economy versus a capitalist economy. I mean, these are themes that we can look on factors on locally. We can look on nationally. We can look on globally. So the poor behavior of politicians over there. We got that over here too. It's in the end, we're going to go to the store. We're going to buy stuff. In the end, consumers are healthy and strong. In the end, we've got a huge trade deficit. We just had new numbers come out today, and we're okay with that. Our credit's really strong. Things are going to be good. And Tom and I were talking about these market indices and we're still bouncing up against this 26 number with the Dow and having a hard time pushing past it. But it's probably going to happen when you least expect it. We're in a quiet part of no earnings. I'm pretty bullish on our U.S. economy. I'm pretty bullish on good quality companies. I think that everybody's got surplus money. We're seeing wages going up. And where do you put it? Well, you put it in real estate, or you put it in stocks, or you put it on your mattress and CDs. And that's pretty much where we're seeing people go with their money.
Yeah, I would agree. Text line, it says 10,000 to 400,000 since 2009. Thanks, Obama. Well, I would say thanks, Obama, but also thank Trump, because in February of 2016, the market was 16,204. Now it's 25 in 2 years. So help me out here.
Well, I think that, there's been great studies, and American Funds has a really good graphic on this too, where it says, it doesn't really matter who's got control of politics.
That's what I've always said. Presidents have nothing to do with the market.
And when you take that stance that they do,
so I'm not going to give Trump credit.
Then you get in the argument, and then you say, well, the reason why it's good now is because Obama did the work before. And now it's working, and then you're like, well, shit, how are you going to do that?
Yeah. Well, it was down in 2015, it was down to 15.8, and in 2014, it was down to 16.3. So.
And in 5 years, it's up 3 times as much as the bonds are.
Yeah.
And this is one other thing Tom and I were talking about, is I was doing some bond shopping for a client the other day that is, they're really concerned with the political environment. They're not in favor of the current administration. They pay attention to a lot of news, and they're very nervous about things. And if you're on the other side of the camp, if you're very encouraged by things, you remember back with the previous administration when maybe you were very nervous about things.
Yeah.
And to your point is, you can be nervous, you can be concerned, you can be active, but you can't change your risk spectrum based upon who's in office.
No.
You're either a conservative person or you're an aggressive person. You either need to make money or you don't have to make money.
I would make the case that corporations, and Shane can maybe comment on this as well, but I believe corporations operate in spite of politicians rather than because of them. Now, when it's to their benefit, I think they will.
Yeah.
If the politician has created a positive environment, then take advantage of that. If they've created a negative environment, then you have to adjust your investments here and there, and
That's their job. They're
exactly.
adjusting to market conditions, some of which are imposed by politicians. But if you're changing your risk spectrum because you think we're going to hell in a handbasket, or because you think that we're going to the promised land, history shows that that's foolhardy.
Well, remember when Trump was elected, the market dropped almost 1,000 points the night of the election.
Yeah.
Because people were thinking exactly that. Oh, my God, where are we going?
And then it popped right back.
And then it popped right back up because they heard his speeches and everything and said, well, maybe things aren't as bad as I thought
they had hot water and electricity the next morning after all.
Yeah, we still had our free phones and
right. So just separate those two parts of your life.
Yeah.
Your political life and your financial life.
Yeah, because they don't,
and you'll be more successful.
Well, that's what I've said. Presidents always take credit for low unemployment. It has nothing to do with presidents.
Politicians take credit for the good things and avoid the bad things.
Yeah, they do. So
some would say that that's what we all do, right?
Well, we've got the lowest black unemployment in history because companies are hiring.
We have a lot of jobs.
We have jobs. So
and that population is educated and available, ready to go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Well, personal finance note, just wanted to share some of the conversations I've been having with clients. I suppose we have a commercial break that has to happen somewhere in here, but it has to do with college. My girls are a bit younger, but a lot of my clients and friends have kids that are college age, going through college, coming out of college. And it is one of those things where there is no right answer. And the general consensus among parents that I'm hearing is that, yes, the only opportunity is to spend too much money on college. Everybody's going to go to grad school these days. The college degree is the new high school degree. It is a common thing to have. And so parents better be ready to help them get that next leg up. And the only way to do that is to be frugal going in. And so if you're shopping for colleges, the real question is how do you have your kid involved in this as a financial partner?
Yeah.
Because some parents say, oh, it's on them. I went through, did you work through, did you take your own debt? I was one of the silver spoon kids where there was a blank check for me to go to college wherever I wanted to. That's right for my family and the other one's right for the other family. Yeah. But you have to be able to have a conversation with your child that somehow helps them understand in a non-judgmental way that there's a consequence to their decisions.
Yeah.
And if they've got targeted ideology on terms of I want to be the best engineer on the planet, or I want to be the best archaeologist out there, and this is the best school for it, support that. You love your kid. You want them to be successful. If they want to go and play the field sort of thing out there, it's the same. The expression is what do they call the doctor that completed med school in the bottom of his class?
Yeah.
Doctor.
Exactly.
I get to visit with tons of successful, very happy people all the time. And there's almost no correlation between education pedigree and that feature. So I think I'm probably just saying this out loud to get myself ready to have a hard conversation with my kids. But be careful out there. That's one of the big pitfalls, and it's sacrificing retirement for a lot of people out there.
Yeah. Well, I would say I don't have any kids. At least none that speak English anyway.
Nah.
But if I sat down with them, I would say, I'm not spending my retirement on your education. Not a chance. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best advice I can give anybody out there is to, they can go to community college. They can go to Gallatin College. They can go to, MSU in wherever.
I don't let my clients stay for college until they've got their retirement handled.
You got to get the retirement done. And then if there's anything left over and you want to, do whatever with your kids and go for it. So let's take a quick call, then we got to take a break. Caller, you are on the air with Mike McCormick. What's up?
Yeah, good morning. But I hate to do this to you guys, but I have to disagree with something you said.
What?
You were talking about who's in the Oval Office.
Yes.
And, it doesn't really matter too much who's in the Oval Office as far as the markets go. Well, between Trump and Obama, look at their policies. The renegotiation of trade agreements that President Trump has made with different countries are then he renegotiate NAFTA and the Farm Bill and the policies that are strengthening the economy. How can you say that doesn't have an effect in the long run, even if it's perhaps somewhat indirectly on the market? It does matter who's in the Oval Office because of the policies that they have.
Well, I believe what I said was that if a politician creates a positive environment, then corporations are going to take advantage of that. If the politician creates a negative environment, then they're going to have to adjust to keep their profits and keep their, everything going. So from that standpoint, but as far as unemployment and some of the other things, I think that's strictly businesses either feel they are comfortable hiring or they're not. And, you can point back to Reagan. When Reagan came in, what do we have? 10% unemployment. We had 10% inflation, 20% prime rate, 15% home loans. And you could certainly give him some credit for creating a positive environment that made people feel more comfortable about moving through that hard time.
And so my point on this, and you're exactly right, there's great economic policies happening, is that when you put a chart of any stock return against who's in the office, it's very difficult to make a correlation between red and blue.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Tom, but I just have to politely disagree, though, because, Tom, I'm pretty sure I understood you to say, either one of you guys was saying that it doesn't really matter who's in the Oval Office as far as the markets are concerned, but it does because of the policies that they have.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the call.
All right.
I agree with the caller.
There you go.
Sure you do.
By the way,
yes.
It's good to hear that the boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town. Every hour, the boys are back in town. Thanks so much for that. All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. We got to take a quick break. Mike McCormick's in the house, McCormick Financial Services, and we'll be right back. 24 minutes for the bottom of the hour. Oh, man, I can't read the clock today. Wednesday, March 6th, 2019, 6 degrees outside. I'm going to stop giving the time, I guess. I don't know. It's 8:24 in the morning. All right, you like that? Are you happy with that?
I should be taking better care of you here, Tom.
I know you should. Yeah,
you got your power bar and your Ensure drink and all that ready to go.
I'm ready to go, man. I don't know. So, one of the things. Let's see. I got to go back to the email because Washington Post won't let me do this. Americans think 51% of every tax dollar is wasted. What do you think about that?
Well,
we were talking about taxes on the break and what to do with your refund if you get one, or
I might rephrase that. Americans think that 51% of their tax dollars not spent the way that they think it should be.
Well, that would be true.
But it goes into our, this is the socialism versus capitalism thing. It's a different way to redistribute wealth. You can give it to this entity that has this big giant company and they pay people to do things that you're maybe not in favor of, or you can keep it and then you can use it to buy things to give it to targeted areas.
Yeah.
So when I pay taxes, and they were surprisingly high for me this year. I was expecting a bigger cut off of the Trump tax cut, but the way that I did my withholding and other things, the way that we had with CPA is that I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a good feeling, and on top of it all, you make a profit sharing. Hopefully everybody's committed to making that retirement plan contribution for last year to help them even more with taxes. So it's a big drain on cash right now. Mm-hmm. And the emotional aspect of it, for most people really enjoy getting a refund back. And that's just a behavior thing.
Well, but you're making a no interest loan to the government.
You're exactly right, Tom.
I don't.
Mathematically, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but
that doesn't mean that it doesn't make sense for a lot of people.
No, that's true. I mean, some people comment. Well, let me put it another way. Let's suppose you had 4 kids, and you're making, say, $40,000-$50,000. Mm-hmm. Okay, you're not living a great lifestyle with 4 kids and $50,000.
Right, that's expensive.
But you are probably going to get a big refund, regardless of what you put on your W-2, because of those 4 kids. They get the tax credit.
Yep.
And you are probably going to get a refund no matter what.
And that person probably really benefits.
From it. Yeah.
And when you get a refund, it's effectively some form of a windfall. It's a lump sum of money that showed up, and you're able to do things with that you're really struggling to do the rest of the time. So you can, of course, first thing, pay off high interest debt. Second thing, boost your emergency fund. Third thing, look to get some retirement savings going, and then treat yourself a little bit. All those things take lump sums of money and good behavior. And yeah, for lower income people, the higher withholding rate that ends up being an interest-free loan to the U.S. government that they get back.
Right.
That probably helps their net worth in the long term better than if they, because they wouldn't have been disciplined enough to maybe hold that out. It wouldn't have been there in the first place.
That's the issue,
right?
That we come down to. Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you are on the Morning Soapbox with Mike McCormick. What's up?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Excellent.
Good. This is Aaron. Say, love you on the show, Mike. We got to see you every day. How can we get that to happen?
Mike has to work for a living, you know. He can't be hanging out here.
I'm like tapioca, you know, good every once in a while. And
you want to
then,
commit to 6 every day? You want to commit to 6 every day? I don't think so.
Say, I got something I want to say about this whole tax return thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's making a big deal out of it, saying that Trump lied, ripped people off, and because everybody's tax return is smaller. And I want to say to people that believe that, there's a reason that those people are broke and wanting a tax return. They don't know how to manage money. Managing money is kind of like managing a garden. You know, there's things that you have to be and things that you have to do to get that garden to grow and to be a proper gardener. And, you know, people that treat money as just something that comes and goes are the ones that believe that their tax return is their savings account. Yeah. And that's exactly what they're looking at. They're like, well, my savings, you know, and it's how they buy their big screen TVs and all this other stupid nonsense they don't need, they can't afford. And it's really kind of sad, you know, this education system. We have all these teachers and people out there bemoaning the fact that the teachers aren't making enough money. Yet these kids and all the people in this country have these weird ideas and no understanding of how the country works, how economics works, how money management works, none of that stuff. Like all the things to survive in this country, nobody's good at.
Yeah. Got to go, Aaron. Hey, thanks for the call, though. Appreciate it. All right. We'll be back with Mike McCormick, or are you going to...
I can stick around for another shorty.
Okay. All right. We'll have him for another short segment. And Shane and Tom, of course, on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. And we'll bowl, all three of us will be back right after this. 24 minutes before the top of the hour. I had to look at the clock just to make sure I'm right. Shane Talbot on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia. Half man, half amazing. Mike McCormick in the house. Tom Eagleoff, your morning mayor. And you're listening to the KMMS Morning Soapbox. And, well, we were talking about taxes. We talked a little bit about retirement and things like that. So I guess the retirement thing, we were talking about that off the air, that it's, for some people, it's a tough adjustment. You know, you've worked all your life and all of a sudden you're sitting around going, okay, what do I do? You know,
it sounds great on paper.
Yeah.
It sounds great on paper, but a lot of studies are showing the value of productive feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the feedback we get where we get a little bit keyed up. I need to be here because I need to do this. And if I don't do this, then this will happen.
Yeah.
You know, that is something that as humans, we like that dopamine. We like, you know, checking off a checklist thing. And if your checklist consists of, you know, pouring your cornflakes, golfing, taking your nap, and watching Jeopardy until cocktail hour, you know, the studies show that checklist won't necessarily be good for you in the longer term.
That's true. Well, I think we all like to keep busy. And I think a lot of people will tell you that they're busier retired than they were when they were working.
Which is great. So that's a good retirement. If you're connecting with friends, if you're participating in activities that you get value out of, you know, but if you're maybe an introvert, if you know, if you don't have money to do the things you want to do, there's a lot of benefits to just doing a part-time job.
Oh, yeah.
And getting involved in something. Now you have the liberty to say, you know, I always wondered what it would be like to be a barista and make the pretty designs in people's lattes. And I want to do that for 3 hours a day.
Well, you need to go down to the high school tonight at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Baseball umpire training.
Oh.
You can be a baseball umpire, $30 a game, and they'll pay you for the training.
And they give you a face mask for when the parents are punching you in the face.
They give you a shirt. They give you all the equipment you need. They give you all that stuff. So I think you'd make a great umpire.
I'm not sure if I'm saying thank you on that one, Tom.
Let's take a phone call. 522-TALK is the number. Caller, you're on the soapbox with Mike McCormick. Don't fall off. What's up?
Well, concerning your income tax.
Yes.
And whether to pay as you go Well, pay your taxes at the end of the year.
Yes.
Now, every time that I could pay my taxes at the end of the year, that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan of giving the government my money all year long.
Yeah.
However, I found out a couple of years ago that do my taxes. Okay, you owe $3,000. Okay, I owe $3,000, but your tax bill is $3,050.
Right.
Well, why is my tax $3,050 when I owe $3,000? And I pay my taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they dock you $50 for not paying monthly. Now, I don't know how that's lawful. My tax bill is X. I shouldn't have to pay XI.
Well, insurance companies do that, don't they? If they give you a break if you play monthly, quarterly, or things like that. I'm just pointing out other things, that will.
So here's how it goes: is that it is not due annually. Taxes are due monthly or quarterly. And I'm not a CPA, but this is what I hear from the CPAs: is that, of course, if you're a salaried worker, your withholding needs to be within a certain margin, and if you mistook your deduction so that you're receiving more than you owe at the end, then they'll say, hey, you should have been withholding more. That was our money that you owed us in the past, and so there's a penalty. And same thing if you're a small business owner, you're paying quarterly estimates. Those quarterly estimates are based, I think it's 105% of last year's income is where you need to come in for
something
future
like that,
quarterly estimates. And so for the small business owners out there, if you have the same exact revenue each year, your quarterly estimates are going to still be a bit more for next year. And if you, of course, hopefully you're growing, if you're at all in real estate in this town, that your quarterly estimates have to be paid. And if you choose not to pay your quarterly income taxes, then there are penalties associated with it. So
that's fine for business, but if you're retired, here's what I owe. What I'm saying is, here's what I owe, and because I didn't give you money every month, you're going to charge me $50.
Yeah. So in retirement, it's also true that you need to pay quarterly estimates.
But it also boils down to where you work. Every month they take Social Security and taxes out of your paycheck, and every month downtown businesses send that in. I mean, some pay quarterly, but most.
And you can change that withholding so it all works out.
Yeah, you could do you could do either or, but a lot of businesses send a check in monthly.
And that's when I was a salaried employee, those times in my life, I always claimed as many dependents as I could. Did I have those dependents? No. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, you just take home more money, but you'll owe more at the end of the year.
Right, exactly. But you don't get docked the $50.
Interesting. Well, let me look into this one. I'll get back to you on that. That's good questions.
Well, I will tell you, Pete, when we moved to California, my wife worked for a pretty good sized company. She was making, in 1983, she was making $50 a year in 1983.
That's good money.
Yeah. And of course she got her vacation pay and severance pay, and we changed our deductions to 15. And took all of that, almost all of that, in a lump sum, and then changed it back when we got here. But yeah, that was our moving money, was from her, and all of that.
In the end, it really comes down to a good accountant. It's hard to do taxes just with TurboTax, and if especially if you want to ensure that you're not giving the government more than you have to, but also not paying penalties. That's going to be, you can figure it out on your own, but boy.
Well, I tried to balance it, Mike, to where either I got back $100 or I owed $100. That's what I want at the end of the year. I can live with that.
Right. Yeah.
But now
that's
retired,
what I try to do too. Yeah.
And now retired, to me, tax is a tax.
Yeah.
You pay a percentage. So because you don't give them their damn percentage every month, they charge you more. It's kind of like the insurance thing that Obama did. You're a young guy. You don't really need all this insurance, but you're forced to buy it. Yeah. It's just, to me, it's just about the same thing. I paid here's my tax bill. I pay it every year, and you're going to dock me $50 simply because I don't give you your money every month.
Send them a McDonald's coupon.
I'm going to send them a coupon, all right. And the other thing I do is my check to the government is postmarked April 15th.
There you go.
I don't give the suckers nothing.
No, I hear you there.
As little as I can give them, that's what I give them. And I don't know. It just, I don't even know how it's lawful to tell you the truth to even do that. But that's what they do.
Thanks, Pete. I got to go. All right, appreciate it. Thanks for the call. All right, we'll be right back. 12 minutes for the top of the hour. It is Wednesday, March 6th, 2019, 7 degrees outside. Welcome to the KMMS Morning Soapbox. Shane Montalban on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia, and Tom Eaglehoff, your morning mayor, in the house. And our poll question of the day, if you haven't gone over there to check it out, which invention would you rather see happen? And your choices are an automatic bed that makes itself, an automatic clothes machine that hangs your clothes up for you automatically, an in-bed toilet so you don't have to get up at night, and a super radio that gets KMMS wherever I am, anywhere in the world. So that is leading so far with 56% of the vote. So get over there and vote, KMMSAM.com. Always get over there and vote in our daily polls. Are just kind of fun. We're not tracking you or anything. They're just for fun. We're not keeping your addresses or anything like that. You just go over and click on the thing to vote. It'll show you the percentages once you vote, and go over there and have some fun with it. That's why we have it up there. It's just a fun thing. It's not anything to we're not going to show up at your door with some magic prize or anything, because as you would know, Town Square didn't have any money. That's why Shane and I are here. So there we are. All right. Well, the rush update is a little lengthy today. Plus, the folks down the hall have been selling a lot of stuff. Plus, we got Noxatril in here as well. So, unfortunately, after the rush update, you may want to turn it down if you got kids hanging around or whatever, and you don't want to cover that. But anyway, warning: Noxatril is going to be the fourth thing down. So we'll be right back right after this. 4 minutes before the top of the hour, it's 8:55 in the morning. It is Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. Shane Montalban on the line with me from Vancouver, British Columbia, half man, half amazing, and Tom Eaglehoff, your morning mayor. And we're winding down the KMMS Morning Soapbox, and I've got some tickets for Kitabaloo that we're going to give away at the top of the hour. Kitabaloo, of course, we do that every year. It's at the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse, April 6th. 10 to 3, and there's bouncy houses, there's face painting, there's all kinds of superheroes there for the kids. Kids under 5 get in free, but, if you got a family of 4, there's not many of these tickets that we're selling, so we have 4 that we'll give away at when we get to the top of the hour, so get your dialing fingers ready. And when we duck out of here, we'll give you the numbers and all the info and get you on board with that. So, Shane, any parting thoughts here? We got about 2 minutes to go. So, anything we talked about this morning that needs more clarification, or?
One thing we didn't mention was Walter Cronkite. Today it was, I guess, the anniversary of his retirement. And,
yeah.
We're grateful that we had him in our lives. He was a remarkable man and a great American.
Well, he certainly was. Nobody knew how liberal he was till he was off the air, because he reported the news without bias, pretty much. He was deemed the most trusted man in America, to give you the straight stuff. And of course, most of us that were, well, if you were alive when Kennedy was shot, I was alive when Lincoln was shot, of course, but. If you remember Walter covering that, that was that's where everybody tuned to.
The scene of him putting his glasses on to read the telex from the IP was
he's almost in tears, whatever, that President Kennedy had been shot, and of course to this day there's all kinds of conspiracy theories floating around about that we certainly don't have time to go into in a minute left. But nevertheless, it is a part of history that I think we all remember where we were when that happened, or when we got the news about that.
We never forget those days, right?
Yep.
Like 9/11.
Yeah,
right?
That's it. Yeah, you remember where you were on 9/11 and some other the tragedies that have shaped our lives or changed our lives in some cases for the better, in some cases for the worst. But
like landing on the moon. You knew where you were that day.
I knew where I was that day. Yep. Standing in the middle of my apartment, watching it on black and white, our black and white TV that I think we used for $50 or something like that. I don't know, rabbit ears and I don't know.
Yeah, because I think it wasn't until the third time they landed it was in color. With the first three landings were all black and white.
Yeah, we finally went to color later on, but those were some pretty interesting times to live through. That I always think it's amazing right now that kids in high school, weren't alive when 9/11 happened. So
exactly.
Or graduated from high school weren't alive when 9/11 happened. So there we are. All right. Well, I've got Kinabalu tickets. I've got a set of 4 tickets. It's Saturday, April the 6th, 10 to 3 p.m. And it's a great thing for the kids. Get them out there and they can run around and play. And superheroes will be there, bouncy houses, face painting, all kinds of stuff. And we'll take the fifth caller. 522-TALK, 522-8255. So get your 4-pack and maybe take 2 families, mom and dad and the 2 kids or whatever. Yeah, go for it. All right, thanks, Shade.
Thank you, Mayor. Look forward to tomorrow. Be happy, be safe.
All right, we will be there. All right, thanks, everybody. And we are out of here.